Woo! Croc pit. Truth is life-giving, just like that muddy water. It's not about the people, mate, it's about the doctrine. G'day, mate. I'm Steve Edwing, and today I want to talk to you about crocs. Now, these aren't the crocs that live in dirty, muddy water, and these aren't the crocs that are swimming in streams in the marshes. No, these crocs are large organizations that have taken all their time and money and effort in spreading forth false doctrines. And these false doctrines make these crocs cults. Now, these cults have one thing in mind, and that is to get their message out and to start taking people and changing their minds and taking them and putting them in the bondage of lies. Now, the croc that we're going to talk about today, you wouldn't believe it, but this croc is from Brooklyn, New York. Now, they send their members out daily. You might know them as the Jehovah's Witness. They send their members all over the place. As a matter of fact, they've mapped out the United States so that you will at least once or twice a year, the Jehovah's Witness will be knocking on your door. And when they knock on your door, I want you to know that they're bringing you something that's like muddy water. And it's dangerous. Crocky, it's dangerous. All right, mate, now listen here. What we're going to do, I've been in this area before, and I've been watching this fella. It's very unusual for a Jehovah's Witness to go singly. Usually they go in pairs. But it's a good thing, because what we're going to do is we're going to jump on him. I want to see what's in his pack, mate. We're going to get inside this house. Hopefully there's nobody there that's going to jump me. But if they do, you'll know about it first, I promise. What we're going to do is I'm going to get inside this house. And when he comes, whack, come on, mate, let's go. All right, mates. I'm going to climb this fence, and I'm going to get in that house. Here we go. Hopefully I can do it. Oh, you're all right, mate. I got you. You're all right, mate. You're right. You're right, mate. You're right. All right, all right, all right. Now, I'm glad. I'm really glad this guy's by himself. Like I said, these guys usually go in pairs. Let me get this guy here. Hold him down a little bit. All right, mate. You're right, mate. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. Now, look in here. Problem with the Jehovah's Witness organization, you're right, mate. You're right. You're right. Is that they say that you aren't able to understand the Bible by yourself. In fact, they print millions and millions of books every year just so that people will understand the way they want them to understand about the Bible. As a matter of fact, there were some doctrines that didn't line up with the Bible. So you know what they did? They rewrote the Bible. They've got their own translation. And they send out these books with their people. The book of Reasoning the Scriptures. They've got all these books. Books upon books upon books upon books. And remember, if you've got to have another book, or if you've got to have another Bible, you're probably not going to be in the truth. Whew! Man, they've got a lot of stuff in here. Let's see here. Goodness gracious. We need to take these things, study them a little bit closer. All right, mate. You're all right. Now, I'm going to let you up, mate. But I'm not going to give you back these books. I promise you that. Now. All right. You're all right, mate. So you just go on. All right? You just go on. And if you can mail in your address, and I'll send you back your pack. So why don't you just go on? We're going to study. We're going to look and see what the Jehovah's Witness has to say about the Bible. Oh, mate, it's a wild job. Oh, my. Now, look, I want to make one thing perfectly clear. I don't hate Jehovah's Witness people, or Mormons, or anybody. I love everybody. My passion is to get the Word of God, the truth of the Word of God, to everybody in the world. Now, one of my best mates is Jehovah's Witness. I've known her for 12 years. Her name's Liz. She's an awesome person. She'd give you anything she had. It's not about the people, mate, it's about the doctrine. The doctrine is like a crock, and it'll bring you down. It's mixed in with that muddy water. It's truth mixed with lies, and it's a camouflage for the doctrine that's going to destroy, just like a crocodile.
The control tentacles of the governing body extend even into the life and death world of medical treatment.
In the 17th chapter of Leviticus, in the 10th verse, it states that one should not eat blood of any sort. This means that God does not want us to sustain our life off of the life of some other creature. And that for that reason, because God has forbidden it, we abstain from taking blood.
The blood issue in the back of our minds was bothering us because as Jehovah's Witnesses, if we freely gave a blood transfusion to our daughter, we'd be excommunicated, we'd be disfellowshipped. Well, the doctors finally came to our room and it was just like an ultimatum. They said, listen, we know from our records that you're a Jehovah's Witness. We know that you don't take blood transfusions. And the doctor looked me straight in the eye and said, Mr. and Mrs. Blizzard, you have to make a decision, yes or no, whether your child lives or dies. I remember going over to the bed and she had these cords and wires keeping her alive, life support systems, and holding this limp child that was our only daughter, and just going over to the window and looking out and watching the clouds and the sky and just started to weep. And I said, oh God, Jehovah, and I prayed to Jehovah.
We just had a real distinct impression that we were supposed to obey God's law and go by what we had always been taught, and that we were to let our daughter die. And so we just called the doctors back in and told them that we had just had to let her die, that we had to obey God's law.
About a half an hour later, a sheriff deputy came to our room and gave my wife and I both citations, and they told us that a court order has already been issued, your daughter is going to get the blood, and they also warned the staff of the hospital not to allow us to take Jenny out of the hospital.
And we were charged with child neglect and abuse.
The witnesses, there was multitudes of them that came up to the room, just swarmed the room, tried to giving us watchtower articles about artificial blood, and you just can't let your child take that blood, and just putting this heavy guilt trip on us. The elders were relieved to find out that there was still time to get Jenny out of the hospital, and they would come up to me and say, hey, I've got a plan. We can get her, we can hire a helicopter, we can sneak her out of this hospital, just unhook the tubes, and we're gone. And I said, wait a minute. You can't do that. It's against the law. I'll be charged with murder. They said, that's a chance you're going to have to take. And I just told them, look, I just can't let my child die in that way. And the elders were just so upset. They left in a huff. They were mad. And one of the elders said on the way out, he looked me in the eye and said, you know what? I hope your daughter gets hepatitis from that blood. And that was just the straw that broke the camel's back. I was just broken here. My own people, God's organization, turning against me, cursing me, because I just wanted to see my child live. And so they left. And we were all alone. Even my own parents didn't come see us.